Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel, where we talk about everything from mental health to financial wellness and personal growth. Today, we're diving into a topic that is near and dear to all of our hearts. Do you ever feel like you're constantly drained, pulled in a million directions, or saying yes when you desperately want to say no? You're not alone. In our hyper-connected world, the lines between work and life have evaporated, leaving many of us feeling overwhelmed and utterly depleted. The relentless pressure to grind, coupled with societal expectations and the fear of missing out, can lead to a downward spiral of exhaustion and resentment. But what if there was a powerful yet simple way to protect your most precious resource, your energy, and reclaim your time? The answer lies in mastering the art of unshakable boundaries. In this video, we'll explore the transformative power of boundaries, guide you through setting them and maintaining them, and share inspiring stories that demonstrate their impact. Ready to embark on this journey towards reclaiming your time and energy? Let's dive in together. So let's begin with a pressing question. Do you often find yourself sacrificing your own needs and desires to please others or meet their expectations? You may think you're being a good friend or a dutiful employee, but at what cost? Recent data from the Medscape Physician Mental Health and Well-Being Report 2025 highlights that even in high-demand professions, if boundaries are set, it is possible to achieve happiness and balance. Yet a 2025 research report on workplace burnout found that remote workers, despite perceived flexibility, report a 20% higher risk of burnout, largely due to boundary dissolution. The office literally invades the home. In countries like Italy, studies show women in remote work are disproportionately affected by blurred lines due to caregiving responsibilities. Now you're probably thinking, okay, so why should I bother with boundaries? And the answer is simple, yet profound. Boundaries are the invisible shield that protects your energy, your sanity, and your overall well-being. Without them, you're constantly vulnerable to external demands, which can leave you feeling drained, resentful, and burnt out. But once you establish and maintain these shields, your life can undergo a remarkable transformation. You'll experience reduced stress and burnout, improved mental health, enhanced relationships, increased energy and focus, and greater authenticity and self-respect. Now you might be thinking, great, I'm convinced. But how do I actually set and maintain these boundaries? Fret not. In the next section, we'll walk you through actionable steps that will help you establish unshakable boundaries in your life. Before we dive into the actionable steps, it's crucial to first understand what boundaries really are. Think of boundaries as invisible lines you draw in your life that define what you are and are not willing to accept. They are personal rules for how you want to be treated, how you spend your time, and what you will or won't engage in. Now, I know that might sound a bit stiff or formal, but trust me, boundaries are much simpler and more flexible than they seem. Let's break down this complex topic into smaller, digestible chunks. First up, we have physical boundaries. These are the limits you set to protect your personal space and your body. For instance, if someone always stands too close when they talk to you, or if a colleague constantly puts their hand on your shoulder, that might make you feel uncomfortable. In those situations, it's perfectly acceptable to politely communicate your physical boundaries. You could say something like, "I prefer to keep some distance when we talk," or, "Could you please not touch me while we are discussing this?" Next, we have time boundaries. These are the limits you set to manage how you spend your time. A common example is setting aside specific work hours and sticking to them. By doing this, you prevent work from spilling into your personal time and encroaching on your weekends or evenings. Other examples include deciding how much time you'll dedicate to checking emails or setting time limits for tasks to avoid getting sidetracked. Emotional boundaries are equally important. These are the limits you set to protect your mental and emotional well-being. Picture this. You're having a lovely evening with friends, but one person keeps bringing you down with their constant negativity. Or perhaps you're working on a project and your boss keeps piling on unrealistic demands without considering your workload. In such scenarios, emotional boundaries come into play. You could say something along the lines of, "I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk about this right now. It's making me feel anxious." Or, "I understand this is urgent, but could you please give me more time to finish this task? I have other deadlines to meet as well." Digital boundaries are another essential aspect of protecting your energy. In our hyper-connected world, it's easy for technology to encroach upon your personal time and mental peace. Material boundaries are equally vital. These are the limits you set regarding the use of your possessions. It's perfectly okay to say no if someone asks to borrow your car or tools and you don't want to lend them out. Similarly, if a friend frequently asks you for financial favors, it's perfectly acceptable to set a boundary by saying something like, "I'm sorry, but I'm not comfortable lending money to friends." Intellectual boundaries are the final piece of the puzzle. These are the limits you set regarding your thoughts, opinions, and privacy. In situations where your knowledge or ideas are constantly taken advantage of, or when your opinions are consistently disregarded, it's essential to assert yourself. For instance, you could say, "I appreciate your input, but I've already given this matter a lot of thought and I've come to this conclusion," or "I'm not comfortable sharing my thoughts on this right now." As we wrap up this section, remember that setting boundaries is a fundamental aspect of self-care. It's about honoring your needs, respecting your limits, and ensuring that your well-being is prioritized. By establishing and maintaining these boundaries, you're paving the way for a more balanced, fulfilling, and joyful life. Now that you've got a clear understanding of the different types of boundaries, it's time to roll up our sleeves and get practical. The following steps will serve as your roadmap to setting and maintaining boundaries. Step 1. Identify your needs and limits. Before you can set a boundary, you need to know what you need to protect and why. Pay attention to what triggers resentment, exhaustion, or discomfort. What makes you feel violated or drained? This self-reflection is the cornerstone of boundary setting. It's about understanding your emotions, recognizing your triggers, and identifying the areas of your life that need protection. Step 2. Communicate clearly and concisely. This is where many stumble. Boundaries are communicated best when they are direct, calm, and use I statements. Instead of "you always dump your work on me," try "I feel overwhelmed when I'm asked to take on extra tasks at the last minute because it impacts my ability to meet my current deadlines. Going forward, please give me at least 24 hours notice for new urgent requests." Clear and concise communication is key to setting effective boundaries. It allows others to understand your needs without room for misinterpretation. Step 3. Prepare for pushback and be consistent. When you first set a boundary, others might test it. This isn't necessarily malice, it's just habit. Your consistency is key. If you set a "no weekend work" boundary and then answer emails, you've weakened it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe for more.